Hi guys, welcome to another video. My name is Sarah Wells. I'm a Portharcourt based photographer. Portharcourt is a city here in Nigeria. Thanks for stopping by to watch this video. Today guys, we're starting a series that's going to be called How I Started versus How It's Going. And we're going to be talking to creatives, entrepreneurs to basically share their stories of how they started their businesses and how it's going. So yeah, we have our very first guest in the house. And he's an amazing Portharcourt-based photographer as well. His name is Favour Benjamin.
Yeah, Favour Benjamin. I'm a portrait and fashion photographer.
Yeah, he's a portrait and fashion photographer based in Portharcourt. Thank you so much for being here. This means a whole lot to us. Yeah, so before we get into the main video, let's take a break.
Okay.
Okay guys, we're back. So Favour, when are you getting married?
Very soon.
Yeah.
Very soon. Technical question, but very soon.
Okay, I hope we hear the wedding bell soon.
Yeah.
So thanks again for being here. Thanks for making our time out of your busy schedule to be here. This means a whole lot here. Thank you. So we're just gonna go right into it. Tell us how you started photography. Your journey, like where were you born, where were you raised, when did you start photography? Pretty much.
Okay. I was born in Warri, Delta State.
Oh, okay.
That's where I schooled and everything. So after my secondary school, I did other stuff. I graduated my secondary school 2007.
Okay.
So I started with dry cleaning.
Are you serious?
I practically did a lot of hustle. So
wow.
I've always had that hustling spirit. But
right.
During my secondary school, I was also like a fine artist. So I was always drawing.
Okay, so you've always been very creative.
Yes, I know.
Right.
So after secondary school, I had to do something that would give me more money.
Okay.
And I went to dry cleaning and all.
Okay.
For just 2007.
Okay.
And
so you've always had the hustling spirit, like
yeah,
you've never been.
No. I started hustling from like S1, SS1.
Wow.
I was making money from SS1 anyway. So that was when I started the hustle.
Okay.
But in 2008, I wanted to do something else.
Okay.
And my elder brother then was also doing graphic design,
right.
Print, large format prints, enlargement and all that.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's how I got into graphic. Designs
and then it evolved into photography.
Yes, in 2009 when I started graphic design, I continued to grow.
Okay.
That because I was very eager to learn and I wanted to be the best around. So I was always looking for opportunity to learn. Surpass every other person that is around. So that's how I started. So as at 2010. Okay. I was already printing. I was working with labs.
Okay.
I was operating. That was during the transition from analog photography and analog printing to digital printing.
Right.
So when digital printing started, I was among the first persons that started operating digital printer in Warri.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so we were using then the HP, I think that's HP DeskJet 6 something.
Okay.
That was the printer we were using. So I was one of the first persons. So that took me to a lot of places to work.
But at this point, you were still pretty young, though.
Yes, as at 2009, I was 19 years.
Wow, and you were already doing this as a 19-year-old.
Yeah. So 2010, when I turned 20, I went to school to study. I did a degree program with Delta State University.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So when I came back, my brother and I, we started our own printing office.
Business.
So we started printing and all.
That was like 21.
That was 20. That was still 20.
Because
the program was 6 months, so it was still 2010 then. So we started our own printing business and we started doing our business. And that was when, since we were moving from analog to digital, people started doing albums. So they started designing their albums. So instead of just printing the pictures, 5x7 pictures and put it in the album, they started doing designs for albums. So I was also part of the first set of persons that started doing designs.
You've been in this game for a long time.
I think I was because I started using Photoshop
before photography.
Yes.
Yeah,
because I started using Photoshop from Photoshop, Adobe 6.0, 5.0, 7.0, and 9.0.
CS3. I don't know.
CS3 was like after 2010, like very recent. CS3 was 211.
Yeah, 211.
But it was CS2 first before CS3. And CS2 was after 9.0.
Right. Yes. I didn't know all the ones before.
So it was even during CS2 we started using because actually we were not using Photoshop to print. We would like just crop our pictures out of the background and all that, and take it to CorelDRAW to do the final design, insert new backgrounds and all that. So I started learning how to use Photoshop to do it myself.
Right.
Because I heard somebody somewhere was doing it and I wasn't doing it, so I had to start doing it. So nobody taught me. I just tried it and it worked, and I started using it to print. But that was 2.9. That was 2.9. So when we started doing the designs, albums, we started with 5x7, we graduated to 5x9. Then we started doing 8x10 prints, like album design and all that. I just inserted in the album. So that was a major business for me because I was doing albums for a lot of photographers there.
Right.
And that was when I started having a little bit of interest in photography. But it didn't like really manifest until my brother and I had a little itch about the business, you know, who owns what and all that. So I didn't want the thing to escalate.
So your brother, how old was he at the time?
My elder brother actually started doing graphics while I was in the GS2.
So is he like super old?
He's very, very old. Like, he's older, like 4 years older than me anyway.
Oh, just 4 years. That means you guys started the business when your brother was like 25, you were 20.
Yes.
20. Oh, that's very impressive.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there was this gap between us in terms of schooling, so that's why it was there in the business before I came out.
Right.
So I actually learned the graphics thing from his friend. He took me to someone that he trained. And
so at what point did you evolve into photography?
So at 2011, we had this issue, and I I have to do something else. I don't want to be doing something similar to what he's doing anymore. Because I didn't want to stop, leave the office and go and open my own office, so start dragging clients and all that. So I was like, okay, now I'm going to start photography myself. So I had this client that I was always creating albums for. I told him that I wanted to learn photography, and he had a studio, so he said, okay, come in. So what we did then was I would do his album, he was teaching me, and I was doing albums for him. You understand? So he still paid me for some, and but it was almost like a mutual benefit something. So we did it, and how he taught me was he just showed me a camera and told me, okay, if you press here, you get a picture. If you press here, you are going to increase the brightness and darken the picture, and that's all. And that's how I started. That's how I started using the camera. So then it was Nikon that was most common in
this was 2011.
2011. Yes. So I started using the Nikon camera first to learn. I was there for like 3 months, January, February, March, and I wanted something more. I felt like I was not doing the photography I wanted. So there was this studio. It was the biggest studio then in Warri. It was called Photoflix. So I went there. There was no how I could I know I can't afford to pay them to teach me. So what I did was I told them I had the skill. I can do graphics, I can design their albums and everything. I just want to work for them. So they employed me. They were paying me while I was learning.
Right.
You understand? So I was there, but I didn't that was one of the studios I really loved them, but I wasn't there for a long time because I was sacked. Like 1 month. I was sacked, but there are a lot of things that we are not experienced that then. Okay, this is what happened. A client, because while I was working there as a graphic designer, I was learning photography and I was also doing reception work.
Right.
You get. So there was this client that came around. We had a small office just for reception, and our studio was like upstairs in the plaza. So the client came and she was at the door. She just slid the door open and told me, hello, is your boss around and all that? I'm like, no, my boss is not around. He traveled and all. And she said, okay, how am I going to contact your boss? Can you give me his card? And I was doing something actually. I was actually working when she came in. So I told her, okay, ma, please, can you come in so I give you the card? And that was my offense. That was my offense. So she was so angry. She didn't express it immediately. Anyway, she just came in and took the card, but she reported to my boss. And my boss just
That one thing was
enough. He just sacked me. That was it. So when I cried actually, because that was the best studio I really wanted to leave. So I was ready to take anything just to be there and learn. But well, fortunately for me, that was also a beginning of something else. So I had to
you're definitely exposed to something while you were there. So.
Yeah, I learned few stuff from there.
Right.
I learned because I have not really. I think I mastered how to shoot in the studio.
Right.
I say at that stage. At that time also. So what I wanted next was to experience wedding photography, like go out and shoot.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. So this time I went out again to look for another place. Okay. Because I'm this very relentless person. I don't give up. So I said like, okay, let me learn. Let me go somewhere else. So I went to another man. Then the name of that studio was like Brand Capture. That's the name. Okay. So he was doing very big weddings, very big events, big weddings. Still in Warri. Okay. So I said, okay, I was going to learn here. I went to him. I told him. I showed him my skill, and they're like, wow, I like your skill. I want you to work for me and all. I was like, okay, this is the reason why I'm looking for a job. I want to learn how to shoot out. So he gave me a lot of promise. He was paying me. Then he told me he was going to pay me 18K. Okay. 18. I was like, okay, no problem. I'm going to work for the 18K. But me, my own is as long as you'll be taking me out to shoot. So I was there for like 1 month, and still, he didn't take me out for 1 day. I was I was shooting passports. No, what I felt like he wasn't ready to take me out. Right. Really, he wasn't ready. He was enjoying my skill. He just wanted me to be close to him and be working for him. Okay. And he had this very terrible attitude as a boss for me. He was so loud and everything. Okay. So all the workers, we were all uncomfortable. It's not just me. I think we had like 8 other people working there. Okay. So I couldn't stay. So after 1 month also, I resigned on my own and just left. So I had another friend that also owned a studio. Right. But he's doing better in terms of photography compared to the guy I started with. So I had to go and meet that one. And I told him I wanted to learn photography. So I told him where I worked before. And he was like, okay. Because he knew that studio was the biggest studio. I was like, okay, come in. So it was a good thing that you went to the other studio. Because it somehow made you... Yes. Because if I told people, like, it was really a big thing in my resume. Because if I told people, like, I worked with PhotoFlix, nobody knew what happened there. So they were okay with it. And they were just like, okay, come in. So when I was there for like 4 or 5 months, I worked for him for free, managed his studio and all that. I really wanted him to send me for a job out, but he didn't still. For the 5 months? For the 5 months. He used to get jobs. Yeah, he used to get jobs, but he wasn't confident enough to send me because I was having you wanted him to actually give you the camera to go out and shoot or take me with him. Will you do that now? Looking back, will you do that? Will you give your intern the camera when you're not sure the person can do it? No, I understood. Now when you look back, you know. But another thing is, what I was looking was that maybe a second eagerness to do it. I always had that will to want to do it. Yeah. You understand? So mine was like, it's not like although he sent me out once, I wouldn't say lie. He sent me out once, but it was on a night, one night to shoot a birthday. Okay. I've not even experienced shooting during the day. I sent me to shoot me at night. So it was, the pictures came back. I was even my conscience. I couldn't sleep that night. I was just freaking me out to like, I know I've done a bad job. Your very first experience. Yeah, I did a bad job, really. But when I stayed for 5 months, I wasn't really okay. So I decided to like tell him that I'm quitting. Money was not my issue, and this was very far from my house actually. Right. But I was doing all that thing to pay my transport and all that, but it wasn't paying me because it was teaching me. I don't know. So I stopped and I came back. I was still editing an album for photographers. So what I did was like I said, I have to take it. I know I have to take on it on my own, regardless of what will happen. Whatever happens, I will find a way to fix it. Right. So I told the photographers I was editing for that, oh, come, I can shoot weddings. Okay. You understand? I can shoot very well. Just give me your wedding job and the album for as low as 10K. I did for some people 8K. Right. Just send me out there to shoot. And I had a lot of photographers that jumped on it, like they started giving me. Wow. I remember there was one wedding I went to shoot. I shot the whole picture. When I got home, everything was overexposed. Like I couldn't even see the groom's face. I was only lucky to see the groom's face in one picture. I never knew if I was not looking at the LCD, but it was so overexposed that I had to do a lot of Photoshop to bring it back.
And thank God you had Photoshop skills.
So
really.
Most times they don't see the picture until I'm done with Photoshop. So all I did was shoot the weddings, do the albums, and send to you for prints. Okay. And so that's how I started shooting weddings. So by the time we got to like December, I was already good at it. Like I was already.
So I want us to dwell on this for viewers that are watching.
Yeah.
So you started taking jobs because you really wanted to grow, and you were taking these jobs at next to nothing. Like you weren't charging so much when you started.
It was 8K. I was ready to do it for even
8,000 naira. He was willing to do it for free. So you must have already loved it. Like you were already in love with the idea of being a photographer. I really wanted it.
Really passionate about it.
Yeah. So it wasn't even about the money that beginning phase. For it to be, you just needed content. You needed.
I think even for like 4 years, it wasn't about money. I wasn't even thinking about money.
So when you guys hear how much he's charging now, nobody should come and be saying, how can he be charging this? He has paid his dues, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, let's continue.
Definitely, we did a lot of stuff. So that's how I started. So my friend, we were living in the same house together. He got a gig because he knew that I was doing it. And my friend is always confident about what I'm doing. Because he knew that I was very good in Photoshop and I was teaching them at that time. So when he found out that I was doing the weddings, he was very confident. So he had that confidence and went to collect a job, get a job for us.
Right.
You understand? So he got the job and told me that we are going to do the job together, blah, blah, and all that. So I said, no problem, I'll do it.
So at this point, did you have a camera?
No.
That's what endeared me to Favour. I won't even lie. Like when I met Favour the very first time, he told me he didn't have a camera at the time. I think, or something, or you started without a camera and you were renting.
I did photography for like 7 years or 8 years without a camera. Like,
are you guys hearing? I keep saying I don't have.
I'll do a lot of service for people to get camera just to shoot. Like, if I learn something and I want to practice it, I will look for the person that I know I can do something for.
Right.
Because I read it actually in a magazine that if you want to grow, you can do something for somebody that I know that have something you don't have, and you can now have access to that thing.
Right.
So I will do jobs for people and I will get their camera
on a
good day and shoot. You understand? Then when it got to the point that I could hire, I would go and rent and do what I want to do. That's how I because I didn't get my camera not until 2019.
So it's not necessarily about the money
at all.
It's not necessarily about like the startup money, like a lot of people say I don't have capital, that's why I've not started my photography.
It's not. I don't know. You may have capital. It depends on where you're coming from, your story, and the kind of people around you that are willing to support. Do you get? I never had that kind of support that could really support me to get those gears and all that. That's why I didn't get it for a long time, because I did photography after leaving Warri. I think 2012 was the time I left Warri. After I did that wedding, and that wedding I did. That was January 1st. We shot the wedding January 1st as Enugu.
Okay, the wedding with your friend, it was really good.
It was my best album. Everything came out well. I was so proud when I did the photo book, because I shot the wedding, I did the photo book, and in fact they even gave us extra money just because of the result. They did frames and all that. So it was so lovely, and I was proud. So then I was now confident to take my own weddings. You understand? So I was getting some wedding jobs. I think I got another one from a friend. I did it also 2000.
And at this point you were still in school?
I was about to come to school. I came to Uniport because there was a strike, so we didn't resume until like April. That 2012. That was when I came to Uniport. So when I came to Uniport, my dad categorically told me not to do anything related to photography. Like it was a serious stuff. So I had to stop photography for that time being. So I had to stop photography, and for 2012, I wasn't doing photography for the whole.
Okay, you said your dad said you shouldn't do photography.
Yes,
you should focus on your academics. So what course did you read anything related to photography?
I wasn't allowed to read anything related to photography.
Your parents didn't want you to do.
No. They didn't just want me to do photography. Prior to this time, before the whole economic change in Nigeria and all that, photography was something in the part where I grew up was laughed at. If you're a photographer, they see you as this photographer that will just go to the wedding and pick them and shoot people. So it's even the official photographer most times in Delta State then was not really valued and all that. So that's why nobody wanted their kids to be a photographer. Nobody. If once you mention is like an abomination in the family and all that. So that's why I think I had that kind of experience with my parents. But my persistence made him to understand at some point that let me just allow him to do what he wants to do, because I'm not even sure anymore about the country and how he's going to get a job when it comes out. So I did accounting. I read accounting. That really took, and that's another story. Because it was not easy for me to do that, because I wasn't even a student that I didn't study accounting in secondary school. I was a science student, so I was hoping to do like engineering, computer science. When he told me I can't do fine art, I said I was going to do computer sciences, and he's still like, no, because computer scientists, they don't have money, they don't have jobs.
Bankers. If really wanted to be a banker.
No, it was not really talking about being a banker. It was talking about the accountants in his company, like what they were getting. I'm not from a very rich home, so my dad was doing a mega job in the company. So it was looking at those ones like the height of the whole thing, and thought like, okay, if my son can do accounting and get to this point, then he should be comfortable with his family and all that. So it meant well. So that was it. But all the same, fast forward, because I started at some point I couldn't bear it. I went into school, started associating with school photographers, the local photographers in school. We were doing stuff together, and that was when I started wanting to learn more. That was when the spirit of being like a professional, excellent, that mindset of being excellent in what you are doing, started coming in strong. So compare at 2013, 2014, there were no place to easily just go and learn photography like you have it almost everywhere online right now. I think YouTube was there. It was not something people use every time to learn. So I wasn't really aware of the existence of YouTube to learn. You understand? So it was a friend that was a fine arts, a graphite artist that now influenced me in terms of improving my photography, because I was doing very well in fine art, and I really wanted to improve my fine art also, because I was also doing graphite drawings at that time. But when I met him, he saw my photography, and instead of like teaching me graphite drawing, he influenced my photography to become better and gave me means to learn. So I think one of the magazines I stumbled on, it was one I gifted to me. It's called Digital Photographer. It's a UK Digital Photography.uk. It's a British magazine. So that was when I started changing my photography. That was when I started learning new things. I think it was in that magazine I learned RAW, how to shoot in RAW, I should shoot in RAW and all that, and I started learning about some lighting techniques there. I didn't understand everything at that time, but I started learning. That was where the journey started to involve my photography. So as at 2014, I was still doing the album stuff, working for photographers and all that. So there was this photographer that got another magazine. That magazine was by a Nigerian photographer called Shehu Akisani.
Shehu Akisani influenced me.
Good. So he did this magazine. It's called Now Picture This. That's the name of the magazine. So
I have it.
The guy gifted me that magazine. Also, I did a job for him to get the magazine, because he never saw value in it. So I said, okay, I'm going to do this job for you, and my payment will be this magazine. So that's how I got paid with the magazine, and that magazine like opened a whole new world for me when it comes to photography. That's where I learned about so many photographers that were doing good. They even predicted photographers that were going to do better in the future in Nigeria. It's accurate. It was accurate. So I started following up all the photographers I saw in that magazine, started looking for a photography school to attend. So I think I reached out to Shehu, I reached out to this man, Shola Animashehu also. I reached out to him. I wanted to be in the academy, but I was able to save money to attend to go, but I didn't know anybody in Lagos, so there was nowhere to live. And they told me they are married, so they can't get into their house and all that. So that was one turn off for me.
Okay.
But fortunately for me again, I stumbled into another video by F-Stoppers. The Peter and Lil Morris F-Stoppers, you know. They did it, that was on wedding photography. It was a wedding photography guide and all. So that video was the turning point actually. And that was in 2014 December. It was a 12-hour video. I think I watched it the whole of December over and over again. And at the turn of January, I told myself I can do these things I'm saying. Regardless of the equipment that was in front of me, I'm going to do this. So I had a friend then. I was trying to push him to do more in his photography also, while I was trying to do more in mine. So he had money. I pushed him. He bought another Nikon. That was a Nikon 7100. He bought a Nikon 7100. He bought a speed light. Then there was this remote trigger. I bought that one with the long pole. You understand? So he bought that one, and that's how I started building my portfolio.
With your friends?
Yes, with my friend's camera in the turn of 2015. You understand?
So when I met you, when did camera?
We met at 216.
That was 216. So you already.
As at 216, I've already started my brand. It was 216 I started Favour Benjamin Photography. You understand? As at 216, I've already created tons of portfolio. I already understood a little bit what I was doing. So my pictures were coming out better and better and better. And I also stumbled out of frequency separation in 2015.
So before even people came into doing frequency separation, you already
I saw frequency separation first, a video by Flynn at Omar's studio. Then I was working at Omar's studio as a retoucher. So one day I was just going around the system and I saw the video. So nobody was watching it, so I just decided to watch it, and it was something new, because I was tired of even doing portraiture. So then when I just saw it, like, wow, this is a replacement for portraiture. You understand? And when I tried it worked well. I tried it in a client's picture immediately, and it came out well. I was like, wow, okay, this is something new. And that's how I picked it up. Even though I didn't do it very well, but I picked it up from there, and I started developing my retouching skills like that.
That's very impressive. So what has the journey been? So when I met Favour in 2015, I mean 2016. We said 2016 at a wedding, and I was completely blown away with. I didn't know him before then. Did I know you then?
I think I met you. You've seen something, my work or something.
But when I saw how he was shooting that event, I just knew that this person is going to be great. Because I had seen a lot of photographers in Portharcourt, and a lot of, at the time, now there's so many very amazing photographers, but at the time, people were just obsessed with just take any bright picture, it's fine. We just wanted to nobody was trying to be creative, nobody was trying to do things differently, everybody was just shooting like everybody, but he was going a different route. Like, he had a very unique style, and I was completely drawn to him. That was when I came back home, I think I told my husband I met a very amazing photographer, because I hadn't seen anybody that was that different. Like, your head was thinking different, and I really liked that about you.
Thank you.
So so since you started, you guys have heard it, he has been through it all legit. What has the journey been like? I know you're doing so well now. He's one of the top guys in photography in Portharcourt right now. He's well known. He has shot so many high-end people in Portharcourt. He's an amazing. He's like one of the best we have here. So what has the journey been since we've talked about how you started. How is it going? How has it been?
Looking back at where I started from, even I don't want to talk about when I first picked up a camera. I'm talking about 2016 when I decided to go
build
start Favour
a
Benjamin Photography. It's been like up like that. I wouldn't say it's very fast, but at least I've been seeing the growth, steady growth. Adding up every time. I go out there, and anytime I talk about photography, I pick up a camera to take somebody portrait and all that. It's been good, and luckily for me, I've been able to specialize in a particular thing. And know, okay, people know that this is what is doing.
You've specifically carved a niche. I've talked about carving niches for yourself. You've carved a niche for yourself. So people know when they think Favour Benjamin, they already know he has his style. Like everybody knows your style. There's a way you take your pictures, and he's mainly like a portrait photographer. So when you think you want to take this type of portrait, Favour comes to your mind. So when I talked about carving a niche for yourself, this is basically this is someone has carved a niche for himself and he's doing so well.
I remember at some point I was doing visually everything.
But it got to the point where
when I saw the need to really
stick to
one thing, I had to carve that niche and stick to it.
Yeah, and it's still okay to have like 2-3 different niches. You can still do weddings, do it your own kind of way. You do portraits, do it your own kind of way. You know, but let people know you for when they see your work, they should know that this is what you know.
I think there was a time I wasn't even putting my watermarks or logos.
Pictures, but people will know. When I see your work anyway, I know
it's Favour Benjamin that did it. But another part of photography that I enjoy doing is architectural photography. Like I enjoy taking pictures of structures, spaces, and all that. Because, like I said, I started photography also because I wanted to be going out there, like traveling. Explore spaces.
You could get a page
and that's why
for that, like Favour Benjamin's architectural, whatever.
I'm still building my portfolio on that. I think I've shot quite.
So when you have, I think you should have a separate page for that. So when people come to that page, they just know that when someone needs architectural photos, they just come there and they see. Like,
but most likely the architectural photography thing is mostly offline. Like people are looking for photographer, they don't really
those
go
people that want to pay.
They either take referrals or they look at people that are sending in proposals, because people are actually sending proposals and all that. So I've actually taken a different approach to that. I actually sent proposals, a lot of proposals this year. I joined LinkedIn because of that and all.
So that's why I was interested to join LinkedIn.
It's good if you are doing anything corporate, related to corporate photography.
I want to take branding portraits seriously, so I need to be on LinkedIn.
It's very, very important to be on LinkedIn. So that's another aspect of photography that I'm interested in. And also the tutoring aspect. I always like teaching photography. In fact, I love talking photography. I can talk about photography all day.
You can tell that you're very passionate about what you do. Anybody that sits with you sees the joy that comes from within when you talk about photography. It's very amazing. And I'm so happy that you figured this out quite early.
Yes. Well, it wasn't really easy. I think the hardest part for me was the first time, like, because of passion and the love for what I was doing, I was more focused about my skill.
Right.
I didn't think about any other thing. Do you get? So it got to when I started the business, and I realized that
it's not just about
the skill. The business
side
is another thing. And that's why I'm going to tell people. You have to, while you are building your skill, you have to look for ways that you are going to market your skill. Because it's the most important thing.
Actually,
no matter the passion you have, you might fall into depression even.
Actually,
if you are not able to use your passion to generate a proper living for yourself. You understand? And I'm lucky in between, I was able to find a way to, like,
since you had other skills,
make it my way of life, apart from being my way of life, a way to generate income for myself and all that. And even still, I'm still looking for other ways to add up, because it's also good to diversify, like we're talking about. So it's very important that I think the business of photography is the hardest part, and it's the more important part.
And a lot of creatives don't even think about the business side.
The business
They're just obsessed with I need to learn face picture. I need to learn this. Meanwhile, you should be reading books on business as well.
If for instance now you say you're having a class for how to really market your photography, people might not be interested to come in.
When you say how to edit, like
the only time people are interested actually is if they've actually conquered the skill. The truth was, at 2019, I had to attend business class. Just business class to understand, to learn how to do business. You understand, to learn how to brand yourself, your personal branding, your brand identity, and all those stuff, and how to push it out there, how to sell and all that. So, which is one important part. I think that's the journey I'm in right now, like trying to evolve in the business aspect of things and all. Because I feel like for my work right now, I'm okay to a point. I'm growing. It's not like I'm saying I'm okay. I'm not learning new stuff. I always learn new stuff no matter what, but I'm paying more attention in selling myself, which is more important right now. I think, given the economy we find ourselves, it's very, very important to know how to sell yourself.
So guys, thanks for staying this long. I know this video is a bit long, but this is very inspirational. This is a young man that has done so well for himself without even having so much capital. He's been able to build a brand for himself, and he's a well-known name in this town, in Portharcourt. And you guys, I'm going to share his Instagram handle, and I think you have a YouTube channel too. Even
yes, I have a YouTube channel, but it's going to be coming back very soon anyway.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to link his handle and all in the description box down below. Thank you so much, Favour. Do you have any words of wisdom for the viewers, anybody watching? If somebody is about to start photography, what would you want to tell the person? Knowing that, okay, this is what I've been through, would you tell the person that, okay, you have to, of course, just what do you think you can?
Okay, before I say that, I want to say something. To tell you where I am right now, it was when I started taking care of myself with what I'm doing. That was when my dad had that confidence.
Okay, yes, I was going to ask, how is your dad now?
That's when he had the confidence in what I was, and he started asking me like, oh, how is business going, how things going, and all that. And, so most times when I tell him that, oh, okay, I remember when I told him I just got a space for my studio, and he was like, he was happy, he was like, wow, okay, you've got congratulations and all. So I think that's where I'm at. That's how happy I am that I've seen myself grow to that point.
And you've proven to me that
I don't have a camera to the point where I own the studio space. You understand?
That's amazing.
Which is very amazing.
And you've proven to your dad that photography is not just like he's seen that he's making money. If he had even gotten the 9 to 5, probably won't be making as much as he's making now.
Yes, that's the truth. And given the economy where
there are not even jobs,
there are serious redundancies.
Yes, even people working are afraid of losing their jobs.
He knows that full time because it was dropped at some point. It was retired forcefully at some point, and he understood how these things work in the company. So if you are able to do something personal that will give you that confidence, that assurance that something is always coming in and you're always growing, then it's cool by it right now. I think even my younger brother, when he rounded up school, it didn't really pressure him to go and look for a job and all that. And he's into digital marketing, he's doing something else now, and he's okay. He's okay with it. It's cool. So that's pretty much like it. Now, for photographers that are starting, what I would advise them is, the thing that have affected me is lack of consistency at some point. So you have to be very, very consistent. You have to persevere, and you always have to think about the business. The business is very, very important. So in as much as you want to grow your skill, you want to express yourself in terms of your work, your fine arts part of you, but the business, look for a way to sell your works, to sell your brand, to sell yourself and build your brand in a way that at the end of the day you'll be happy with yourself and be happy with your passion and everything.
You're not the hungry artist.
No, that's more important. That is very, very important.
Thank you so much. This has been amazing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I'm really glad to be here. I really appreciate it.
I'm so grateful you came. Thank you so much. So guys, I hope you guys have learned a thing or two. I'm hoping to do this again and again and again, probably get more creatives and more entrepreneurs to share their stories. And if you have an interesting story, your journey in whatever business you're into, you can send me an email, you can send me a message if you would love to share. Thank you so much, Favour, for being here.
You're welcome. I appreciate it.
God bless you. Please subscribe to my channel, click the like button. If this video was interesting in any way, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day, guys.
Cheers.
Bye.